Imagine a world where no two people saw the same colors. For centuries it had been a mystery no one could solve. Scientists tested, philosophers debated, and artists argued endlessly. But the truth was simple and cruel: what one person called red might be someone else's blue, and there was no universal way to prove otherwise. People had learned to accept it, inventing language to describe feelings rather than appearances. Clothes weren't bought for their shades but for the emotions they evoked. Paintings were admired not for exact palettes but for the moods they stirred in the viewer. Society functioned, but deep down, everyone wondered what the world really looked like. Lena, a young archivist, never thought much about it. Her world was filled with calm golden hues she called amber, soft tones that made her feel safe. One day, while restoring a strange old book, she found an odd diagram tucked between the pages. It depicted something that looked like an eye, surrounded by shifting geometric shapes, with a phrase scribbled beneath it: "True color lies in unity." The handwriting was shaky, almost desperate. The words haunted her. What could true color mean in a world where everyone saw differently? She began researching obsessively, combing through forgotten manuscripts, old testimonies, and even myths. The more she searched, the more fragments she found, stories of people who claimed, briefly, to see the world as others saw it. Most dismissed them as delusional, but Lena was unconvinced. One night, as she sat by candlelight, her vision flickered. For a split second, the world around her changed. Her amber walls shifted into a sharp, cold tone she didn't recognize. She gasped, dropping her pen, and when the moment passed, everything returned to normal. It had felt like looking through someone else's eyes. She realized she wasn't the only one. Across forums and underground groups, whispers spoke of the spectrum, a phenomenon where people reported temporary shifts in perception. Some described it as terrifying, others as euphoric. Conspiracy theorists claimed it was evidence that their reality was fractured, or worse, controlled. Determined, Lena sought out Elias, a reclusive scientist rumored to have experimented on perception. He lived in a cluttered house filled with strange lenses, mirrors, and prisms. His eyes were tired, but when Lena told him about her vision, something in him lit up. "You've touched it," he whispered, "the convergence." He explained his theory: humanity wasn't cursed with different colors by accident, it was deliberate. Something or someone had fractured reality so that no two people could agree on what was real. As long as perception was divided, truth itself could never be united. But the convergence, he believed, was a rare moment when the veil slipped, and people saw the same thing. Elias showed her a device, a crude contraption of glass shards and wires. "I built this to synchronize sight," he said, "but I've never dared to use it alone. It could destroy me. Together, maybe." They activated the machine. Light filled the room, bending and refracting in impossible patterns. Lena felt her vision tear apart, colors collapsing and reforming into shades she had no names for. Then, clarity. She and Elias looked at each other, and for the first time, their eyes saw the same world. It was overwhelming. The walls weren't amber, nor cold gray, they were simply what they were. The concept of true color was real, and it was blindingly beautiful. Tears ran down Lena's face. But then came the horror. Through the window, she saw the sky ripple. The moment they shared unified vision, the world itself reacted violently. Buildings flickered, streets bent at strange angles, and shadows peeled away from their owners. Elias staggered back, clutching his head. "They'll notice," he muttered. "They never wanted us to see the truth." "Who?" Lena demanded. But before he could answer, the machine shattered, plunging them back into their separate perceptions. The world stabilized, but the memory of true color burned in Lena's mind. She realized now why no one was allowed to see reality the same way. Someone, or something, had designed it that way because if humanity ever shared a common vision, they might discover the world was not what it seemed. Later, as she walked through the city, Lena watched people pass by, each reacting differently to the same surroundings. One smiled at a flower that, to her, looked dull and lifeless. Another scowled at a building she found comforting. Everyone was trapped in their own private illusion. But Lena wasn't satisfied anymore. She knew the truth was out there, hidden behind fractured sight. She had glimpsed it, and the memory gnawed at her. The book's words echoed in her head: "True color lies in unity." And then came the twist. Days later, Lena found another note, this time slipped into her apartment door. The handwriting was the same as in the old book. It said only one thing: "We are watching, do not look again." Her blood froze. Whoever or whatever controlled the colors knew she had seen behind the veil, and now, she understood the true danger. If enough people shared the same vision, reality itself might collapse, or perhaps reveal something far darker than anyone could imagine. She blew out her candle that night, staring into the darkness, haunted by the question, was the world really colorful, or was color the greatest lie ever told?